A lot of VSTs are out there. In my last video, I was talking about VSTs and how they work somewhat. And in this video, I want to talk more about VSTs and sort of like how to use them in a sense. They are like plugins. And so you got to make sure you got the proper VST and make sure that your VSTs are quality because sometimes they may cause problems with your CPU power. You never know. Anyway, I've got VSTs right here. And we'll look at this right here actually. Let's get deeper in this. I'm going to pull the mixer up. My mixer's here. And so I want to just hear this thing here. This bass drum. I'm soloing out the program, the drum program here. I'm going to see this. There it is. We can see it right now. So I've got this bass drum right here, right? You see it's right at 0 dB, not going over that. You'll see it's not going over 0 dB also here in the mixer output. Now here we've got some elements here. I've got a variable compressor right here, right? We got MPC 60 vintage mode. We got a compressor, give them some pumpy room right in there. And then we got a 4-band EQ. So we got these 4 things going at the same time. Now if you got a bad VST that's not going to take up too much power, not going to be really accurate, you'll have some problems. I got 4 here. If you notice in this entire mix, there are a lot of VSTs here throughout the entire mix. And there's no problems. We're running. Let's turn off the variable compressor. Now the MPC 60. Now the compressor. Now the EQ 4-band. That's the raw sound itself. Notice here now, we're in the red. We're also in the red in the overall output of, let me move this over here a little bit, if I can, here we go, of the drum group, right there, the program, the drum program. Now, I'm going to put back in 1, and you can see what's happening here, and you see how this is working with the 4-band. And it's accurate too. As it happens, you see it happen. Right here, this is the pumpy room. Now, I'm going to probably move this over here for a second. Now, I'm going to pull down this one here, and put this one up here, and put this here. There's a difference between a compressor before the EQ and the EQ before the compressor. Pull this out. Put the EQ first. I want the EQ for the proper sound. Then compress it. Then we'll bring in here that MPC 60 sound. Then I'll bring this variable compressor back over here again. Then I'll turn it on. It sort of tightens it up a little bit more. Still punchy, but it's a little bit more tighter. And each one of these VSTs are doing its own thing for every instrument that's in the session. So I come up here. Particularly here with the claps. Watch this. You would never figure that clap was there because there's so many VSTs there, of course, to dull the sound out, give that dull little feel to it. But you'll come to here. Turn these all off. I'll turn this on. Now I'll turn on one at a time. 2 shelf, a compressor. We're back with this gate. And we're getting out of frequency right there. We go with a little reverb to make it a little fuller. You can hear how it's in a reverb now. You can't hear that when it's actually in the whole group. Now we'll unsolo it. Let's unsolo this too. This is the bass line. That's the sound right there without any VST. So you get the idea. Use your VSTs, use them accurately, and make sure you know how to use a VST, or use actually a plugin, whether it's a delay, a reverb, an EQ, a parametric EQ. It could be a variable compressor. You can use also a maximizer, right? Some things you can actually do. But know what you're using. These things actually work. But when it gets too crazy, you're going to have to make sure to get rid of the wrong VSTs. So I'll come down here. I'll put these back on actually. There's the kill EQ. Now we're using a vintage compressor. Now we got to maximize. See it max out? A maximizer. Then we're using a channel strip. Sort of tighten it up a little bit. Listen to the difference. Really different. So next thing I'm going to do right here, one more thing I want to show you right here is that we have let's stop this actually. We have this thing here called an activity monitor right here. And so I can see here, as I put a track back, let's go back to track here and play it back. I'll go back to my activity monitor. We can see how much CPU is going on here. We can see we have CPU load. I'm coming right to the MPC. You can see this also in the activity monitor. What is using the most CPU percentage? And see here we're using 75% here. You can see right here, that's percentage of CPU. What's really most important is the CPU load. And it's not much of a load here. So be careful of that. Sometimes your system may be crashing, but if you have the proper VST, it should work. I'll see you in the next one.